Hello, my beautiful people. My name's Joe, and you're watching JB TV. This is a review and comparison of the Bells of Steel utility hooks, which are right here, and the Temu utility hooks, which are right here. We're going to compare and contrast these two storage hooks to see which one is the best value and option for you. Now, full disclaimer here, the Bells of Steel version, these ones, are the original storage utility hooks. These Temu ones are the copy. I believe the Bells of Steel, they were the first ones that came out with the idea and the design, but after the idea took off, they sold out pretty quickly, and many copycats started stealing the design. Now, I'm going to put it out there that you should always try to purchase from the original designer or inventor whenever possible. Now, in my case, I did purchase these originally. I purchased them. They were like 4-pack for like $44 back in July of 2024. I needed more than 4. I waited for them to come back in stock for months and months, even privately emailed them. Unfortunately, the dates they gave me for the restock kept getting pushed back and back and back. And then eventually the December restock also got pushed back, never happened. So I had to search elsewhere. Now they are in stock now, so I would recommend purchasing from Bells of Steel if you're in the market, even though they are a little bit more expensive, and I'll tell you why through this video. But the main reason, in my opinion, is they're the inventors, constantly innovating, putting out cool, new, innovative stuff in the home gym market. And your purchases actually help encourage that innovation to make all of our home gym workout experiences that much better. Now, I know some of you are going to see the cheaper price and just buy the Temu versions anyways, so I'm just going to put this video out there so you can see exactly what you're getting. It may surprise you to see that both products are actually solid, but they're also a little different, as you can see just at this, and I'll do some deeper cuts later. Now, the Bells of Steel utility hooks are beefy with a capacity of 120 pounds per hook. You're not going to want to get just one, but if you do want to buy just one, that one hook will run you $11. It's the most expensive price. Now, the more you buy, the more they discount. If you get 2, it's 22. If you get 3, it's 30. And if you get 10, it's 55. Now, quite honestly, I wish that I had just got the 10 for 55 originally, but I was a bit skeptical, and there's no information out on the internet yet on these. Now, I've actually bought these hooks twice now from Bells of Steel, and I regret nothing. The way it works is the hook, it slides into an upright hole up to 11 gauge steel. Honestly, most premium racks top off at 11 gauge steel, and your more budget friendly racks are going to be a higher gauge steel. Now, if all the talk on gauges seems a little confusing because, we're not all steel workers, just think of it in terms of golf. So lower is better. The lower gauge steel means it's thicker, higher gauge means thinner. So the main point being, unless you have some crazy commercial rack that weighs like a metric ton, these hooks will fit in your rack, and it just goes like that. Temu one also goes like that. Now, the actual hook that goes inside your rack, it's about 10 millimeters or 0.39 inches of space to get the hook into the hole, this little space here. So you do have plenty of space to get the hook in. Now, the part of the hook for the actual storage, that's 52 millimeters or 2.06 inches. So that's this space right here. The total footprint of the hook, it's 102 millimeters or 4 inches tall by 89 millimeters or 3.5 inches long. Now, let's take a look at the Temu version. For me, I only ever looked at the Temu version because I couldn't buy the Bells of Steel, and it seems like you can get almost anything you want these days off of Amazon or Temu. Now, they seem to usually come from the same warehouses, so it kind of doesn't matter when you're buying the third-party China knockoff. The strange part about the price of these particular hooks is they'll vary a great deal, and there's always some type of discount or coupon code just lurking, waiting, as long as you put the item in your cart and sit on it. Now, my Temu purchase of these hooks, I bought it twice, again. So the first purchase was a 6-pack for $13, and then I bought an 8-pack for $17. Now, the total footprint on these hooks, it's 83 millimeters or 3.39 inches tall, making it a little smaller than Bells of Steel. The actual hook that goes inside your rack is 14 millimeters or 0.58 inches. Now what's interesting here is that even though it's a longer hook than the Bells of Steel version that goes in the rack, it's not as sturdy. The trade-off is the steel that connects the hook to the main body is much smaller than the Bells of Steel version. The reason why this matters is that the attachment point where the hook meets the main body is going to be the breaking point and should be the beefiest part. So I'm not sure that I trust this advertised 150-pound support on these hooks due to this. I mean, just take a look. This is supposed to give you 150 pounds of support, and this one's only 120. Even the thickness is way off. The space for the actual storage part of the Temu hook, it's 35 millimeters or 1.37 inches. This is the part that you're actually sliding the gym pieces on. Now it is smaller, and you can visibly see that if you hold them side by side, which we've kind of established already. What the heck do you use these things for exactly? So first off, when I first saw these, I thought it was kind of a bit gimmicky because, you know, I already had my magnetic hooks that they work. At least they work for lighter pieces. If it's something heavy, obviously it's just going to fall down because magnets only are so strong. And you don't want a super strong magnet because then you can't even move it or get it off the rack. Now these are the best on your upper cross members up here, or on the sides of your cross members, usually on the outside. So it'd go on the outside. Now this is great for your heavier or awkwardly shaped items that might not play nice on a pegboard. For example, I store my fig jammer on a utility hook. It's too heavy to store with magnetic hooks, and I could probably put it on a wall board or a pegboard, but it's going to take up basically one entire panel, and it's going to take multiple hooks to hold it up, which is annoying. I have held heavier items on my wall control before, but you know, you need multiple hooks, and especially when putting it back on the pegboard, that's when it gets very annoying trying to line everything up. Now another cool use case is if you do have a Bells of Steel storage basket like I do, there are several cutouts, making it very convenient combo with the storage hooks and the basket, where you can basically put them on the front sides, on the sides, pretty much anywhere. There's actually kind of an example where the Temu hooks, the smaller Temu hooks, actually work better because they're smaller and you can get more items hooked into the storage baskets. Now, as a side note, I know I keep talking about Temu for the budget hooks. Amazon also does sell them, and they look to be about the exact same as far as specs, but they are just a little bit more expensive. So if you're going to go the more expensive route, it just makes sense to go Bells of Steel. And if you're going to go budget route, just go all the way budget. You might as well go budget all in on Temu. Now, the one call out that I will make on the Bells of Steel, they do advertise that you can use 2 of these hooks to hold a barbell. While this does seem appealing, the hooks, they're not big enough to hold specialty bars, which is usually one of the type of bars you're going to look to try to figure out storage on. As long as you're, not trying to hang like a standard barbell by the collar, the hooks are good enough to hold your standard, 27, 29 millimeter bars. But you do this at your own risk still because there's no UHMW plastic on these steel hooks. So it's going to be metal to metal contact. Now you can always fix that by adding some UHMW tape to the inside of your hook, but that is going to start reducing your space inside, and it'll impact the thickness of the bar you can hold. Additionally, if you're just going to get barbell storage in your rack, you'd be better off going with like the OG of barbell storage rack solutions, which is, Darko Lifting. They've got the dock, the double decker, the anchor. For me, I've got the anchor, and that thing's been awesome. Right now I have it storing my Titan Fitness safety squat bar, but I alternate it depending on the training I'm doing. Sometimes I'm going to use both of the hooks, and I'll store one for like my standard Rogue Ohio power bar, and the other will be for my Rep Fitness axle bar. I use the axle bar for like landmine work. So the way the Darko storage solutions work, it's really nice to just be able to pull your bar down from above. It's there to put in the work as long as you got, your setup, your J-cups, your spotters, your safety straps, your monoliths, whatever you're using to hold the bar at the starting point, and the safety catch at the bottom, to protect you at the bottom of the movement. What are my final thoughts? So I'd say both are solid, with Bells of Steel slightly edging out Temu, mainly based off your size difference, the stability difference with that point of the hook being more beefy. Now, if you're on a budget, the Temu version works. especially if you're not going to store big or heavy stuff. But if you want the best quality storage hook, I'd go with the Bells of Steel. In the grand scheme of things, the cost, it's not that much more for the Bells of Steel. And again, it goes to the original innovators. The original innovators are the ones who can take that business, turn it into even more new products to make our gym experiences awesome. None of these were sent to me for free. I did pay for all of them with my own money, and I just support Bells of Steel because of what they've done for the home gym community, all the new products they continue to innovate, and this little piece has been a game changer. And as always, take care, lift heavy, and we'll see you next time.